Hi guys, welcome back here to another video on the channel. My name is Mafalda and we are here to talk about two books that I feel like they need to be talked about. So, as most of you know by now, I am a huge fan of fantasy. So when I was very little, I read a lot of fantasy and like Shadowhunters or Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, all of that. And then as I grew up, I read The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and all of that as well. So fantasy was always a part of my life. And that was actually a major thing for me when I started reading sarahj.maas. So I started by reading the Throne of Glass series, and then I read ACOTAR, A Court of Thunder and Roses series, and that actually changed my life. And then I read Crescent City, which is actually coming out, and you know already that we have a new book that will come out in January 2024, so stay tuned because I'm very excited for that. But yeah, so if you are like me and you really enjoyed ACOTAR or most of sarahj.maas books, sometimes it feels like people do tend to compare other fantasy books to ACOTAR or Throne of Glass or Crescent City and sometimes it just isn't good enough. Sometimes I feel like people say, oh, this is for fans that love ACOTAR, and I read it and it's not. It's not what we crave for, it's not what we look for. So I feel like sometimes people tend to forget what we really like because maybe the book didn't talk to them like it talked to us, I don't know. But I feel like if you are like me and you are always looking for another book that is similar to ACOTAR in the sense that gives you a spark or something like that, stay tuned because I have two books to suggest for people that need them. Okay, let's start with the first one. This one. So you probably know by now what this book is. Everyone's talking about it on BookTok, Bookstagram, BookTube. I did like 2 videos, one in Portuguese and one in English, about this book. And I can honestly say that this book is amazing. And why am I suggesting this? It's not because it's popular, trust me. I don't usually go with popular books. I'm actually very skeptical about popular books, so I'm suggesting this one because I do feel like this one has the perfect plot twists that everyone that loves ACOTAR will dig, to be completely honest. So you do have enemies to lovers here, you do have wings in the dragons, so yay. You do have a lot of political plot twists, you do have a lot of main character strength and growth and all of that happening here, and I do feel like that's one of the reasons that we are all drawn to ACOTAR because we know that Farah was human, we know that she was fragile, she was frail, but that didn't stop her, to help everyone and to try to surpass her own mortality. And in a sense, the main character of Fourth Wing also does the same. So I feel like this book, and I'm not going to talk about it, we already know what this is going on, what this is, and we already know the fever that everyone is caught. I caught it, so I can't really defend this enough. But I think that this book is perfect, brilliantly good for everyone that loves ACOTAR. And I leave this here for you guys. Another book that is fantasy that I wasn't expecting to like this much, and when I say that it's perfect for ACOTAR fans, it's literally perfect for ACOTAR fans. So you do have fight scenes, you do have bad boys, you do have mystical creatures, you do have all of that, and it's The Serpent and the Wing of Night by Carissa Broadbent, I think that's her name. So here. And okay, let me just be completely honest. The first chapters were a little bit difficult for me because the world building was immersive and it was a lot. For a lot of different names, a lot of different constructions, a lot of different relationships and errors and all of that, and I was like, I need to be very concentrated to read this, and I'm not really in that state of mind yet. But as soon as the trials and the competition starts, Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ, it was perfect. So you have enemies to lovers, you have duels, you have humanity again and frail main characters and fragility and all of that there. You have found family in a sense, you have bad boys, like I said before, the main character Riley is a bad boy and he's the mix of Cassian with Reese, and I think that's just perfect because everyone loves those two. Let's just be honest. I mean, Az is also pretty cool, but you can have all of them. At least you can. In this book you don't have all of them, but you have, I mean, you do. It does have a lot of Az, actually. Me thinking a lot. It does have like the three bad boys in one combo kind of thing, and I really like that. I really enjoyed, you know, their dialogues. I feel like she was vicious. She was perfect with him. Like, she was literally the best example of how a female can be strong. Even though most of the people there don't feel or don't acknowledge her strength, she's very strong. She's very strong-minded. It's really perfect, and I loved writing style. Carissa's writing style was very good. I don't think that it's the book for someone that is not it doesn't usually read in English, because I do feel like there's a lot of different constructions there that can be difficult for people that aren't familiar with English. But I do feel like if you are familiar with English and if you love reading in English, please do, because this book is perfect. I really don't have anything bad to say about this book, and I feel like the book was a very pleasant surprise, because I was actually feeling kind of not engaged enough in the story, because I feel like, oh, okay, this is not going to be what I thought it would be, and everyone is like crazy about this one, but it's gonna be one of the ones that I'm going to miss, even though it's popular, because it's not really my cup of tea. And I was wrong, and I'm so happy that I was wrong, to be honest, because I feel like this book is perfect. And I'm actually trying to read another one, another rom-com that I have here, the Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and unfortunately I can only think about this one because it was that good. You know, when the book leaves you an imprint and you can't stop thinking about this. So that happened to me with Fourth Wing and with Serpent and the Wings of Night. So these two are perfect, and that's why I feel like these two are perfect for people that love ACOTAR, because it's not like, oh, they are similar to ACOTAR. They aren't. They are very different, and I think that's good, because one of the reasons that made me fall in love with ACOTAR is how different and new and, you know, vicious that book made me feel, in the sense that it was something that I usually couldn't find in other books, you know, that novelty kind of thing. And I feel like these two gave me the same feeling, and that's just perfect, and that's why I feel like it's perfect. I also felt the same way with the From Blood and Ash series, with the first 3 books, and then the 4th book was actually difficult, and I feel like these two can also be very, very, very good because of that. So that being said, I highly recommend you to read those. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and yeah, for people that love ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, Crescent City, so everything that sarahj.maas writes, these two can also be a very good choice if you are trying to move away from, you know, a book hangover but still want to read fantasy. I think these two are very good and very good suggestions, and I actually think that The Serpent and the Wings of Night was a follower on Instagram that recommended to me, so thank you so much, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't probably read it, and I would miss one hell of a book, and it is truly one hell of a book. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram, and the books are also available on the description box down below. The links, it's all there, so go check it out. And see you in the next video. Till then, have a great read.